On this episode, we talk about, On this episode, we talk about selling your company, SEO audits, learning as a 13-year-old about business, and are too many discounts a bad thing? Hey everybody, welcome to episode 15 of the AskEngine show. My name is John Bowling.
And I'm Blake Purrier.
And we're excited to come back and hit you with another episode of questions and answers. We've got, I don't know what this is.
Star Destroyer? Yeah.
Star Destroyer. We've got a Star Destroyer here that will be going up on the wall very soon, but we thought we'd allow it to make its debut and hide the fact that my phone's right here. But we've got some questions for you. I think we have 4 today?
Yeah, 4.
4. So we're going to go ahead and get rolling in, get started, and answer your questions.
Yeah, our first one is from r/entrepreneur, and this person asks, people who sold their business to big companies, how did they make their first contact?
You've sold kind of a big business.
Yeah. We've sold companies and that sort of thing. But I would say that if you're selling a business, like, you should look for people to be coming to you rather than kind of going out and hawking your business. I think look at it as growing something that's worthy to be sold rather than having to go and beg for people to buy what you've built. There's an element of making it aware that you're looking to sell off what you've built. But there's also an element of not being kind of the guy that's trying to sell his company at every public event.
You want to have the leverage.
Yes.
And it's kind of sad that I'm recalling this now. Casey Neistat and Matt Hackett, who co-founded Beam together, they actually did a very interesting show on this, and I'll actually link that in the product or in the episode notes below. But they really talked about this because they were selling Beam and they were looking for buyers, and they were running out of cash. Like, they had, the day that they signed the agreement for their company to be purchased, they had like 20 days left of capital. Gosh. And he talks about the feeling that they had of not being desperate, letting people come to them, and it's essentially just like everything else. When you're selling something to someone, you want them to sell themselves and enjoy the journey. And so I would focus, like you said, not trying to go and sell. Talk about the company, talk about the successes that you had, get someone interested. You can, was it called sales breath? When you can tell someone knows that, when you can tell that someone wants to sell something to you, don't be like that.
No,
have the leverage.
Yeah. Build something that's worth selling rather than trying to sell what you're building.
Yes.
Our next question is on auditing SEO for companies. So this person said, I read a lot of marketers refer to auditing SEO for a client before they work on it. What kind of tools do you use? What do you do there? The biggest tool in my toolkit for auditing SEO is Moz tools. I use all SEO Moz products, kind of like their Keyword Explorer, everything to kind of dig into whatever client I'm going to be working on to understand what keywords I should be looking at, what their current content is performing well, their competitors' content. That and Google Analytics are really only the two tools that you need to really audit SEO for somebody.
Okay. So taking that, are these tools that we can link in?
Yeah, we can put those in the show notes for sure.
So taking that in, when you're looking at SEO, do you have a breakdown of like what you look at? Like, if you're ranking the top 3 things that you're looking for, what are the top 3 things you're looking for?
Yeah, I look at the existing content they've got on their site that's performing organically. I look at their kind of on-page SEO to make sure that they're not messing anything up there and that it's not just straight broken. And then third, I really look into their top probably 3 or 4 competitors and look at what keywords that their competitors are ranking for and how to position this client differently, because you don't want to compete. If they're a small fish in a big pond, you don't want to compete with a big player that's already ranking well on certain keywords. Our next question is from Reddit, and this person says, I'm 13 and I want to learn about e-commerce and investment. Are there any online courses? What should I do to learn about e-commerce? I'm 13, nothing too hard.
Awesome. So I'm totally pumped for you. If I was business minded at 13, I would be so stoked to see what was going on in my life now. That being said, and this might actually ruffle a few feathers. Anything that you buy a course on right now, with the rate at speed that how quickly things change, by the time you're actually able to conduct business, it will be changed. So the biggest thing I can tell you is you need to be thinking about and learning solid and sound business practices. You do that through studying and understanding solid business practitioners. The online course space is very saturated right now. And there's a lot of great people in that space. I never want to knock the online education space, because it is how we will learn in the future. But you need to be studying what made Steve Jobs who Steve Jobs was. You need to be studying Peter Thiel. You need to be studying Elon Musk. You need to be studying Jeff Bezos. You need to be thinking about and listening to how they think about the world and how they think about business. You don't have to agree with them, but you need to understand their thought process, because the leaders in business, you find pattern recognition in how they look at the world. And so that's what I would really encourage you to do. I would buy documentaries and I would buy books on the way that Jeff Bezos built Amazon. I'm actually going to, so there's a few YouTube episodes of different people talking about this that I want to send directly to you, and I'll also link them up in the show notes here. We got a lot of links today that are just really sound, just business principles advice. So I would do that, and then taste as many things as you can. So the second part to that is you need to learn through experience. You need to go, and as a 13-year-old, you need to go to a business and say, like, hey, can I come and just be a fly on the wall? Can I come and clean? Can I come and do something to be around high performers in your area? So go and look at the top 50 companies and create an email account. You can't, or create a Twitter. I don't think that CEOs are going to have Snapchats, so you can't really snap them, but reach out to them. Steve Jobs said it best: I never went without something that I didn't ask for. So you just got to make the ask and then try and learn. Yeah,
I think reading biographies is fantastic. I think that's super important to get kind of inside the heads of people you respect. So
because the tactics come and go, the strategies and structures are timeless. Creating a great product and creating a way for consumers to interact with that product is timeless, and then you can study how these business leaders have been able to do it.
Yeah. Our fourth question is from Cora, and this user asks, can too many discounts hurt an online store? And I will speak from experience on that from some e-com clients we've worked with, that 100% yes, that if you're building your business off of the back of coupon codes and heavy discounts, you are not building something that's quite sustainable. You are creating this self-feeding machine where your shoppers and your visitors are expecting a discount every time they come there, and they're shopping with you because of that coupon code rather than brand loyalty or because they love the product. Yeah. You build an audience of discount seekers rather than an audience of kind of brand advocates, which is a very scary place to be in, because if your kind of cost of goods goes up, your margins just shrunk and you can't ditch that coupon code. So 100% yes, too many discounts will hurt your online store.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it, in marketing and kind of the backside of marketing, you're training humans sounds weird, but that's what you're doing. You're training people on what they should expect from your company. And think about it in terms of, there's a lot of great businesses that have built up quite large numbers off the back of discounting, off the back of things like that. But when they enter into a competitive marketplace, or they find someone who's creating a better product, they really struggle in that environment. So the best thing you can do is create the best product that you can. And every once in a while, I mean, I think discounts on a certain frequency and cadence are good, especially if you're holding inventory, you need to get rid of it, things like that. But yeah, I mean, think about and take a second to understand what you're training your consumer to expect from you as a company, through your messaging, through your sales, through your buying process, through everything.
Well, and I think too, you're going to get squeezed from two directions. You're going to get squeezed on the low end from somebody coming at you with a cheaper product, and then you can very easily get squeezed on the high end too if somebody comes out with a more competitive, better version of what you're selling, because then you can't move either direction and you're kind of stuck on a ship with no sails, basically.
Yeah, and you're optimizing for the bottom of the barrel at some point. I mean, there's, being the low-cost leader is never a sound business model if you want to go big. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's the episode for today. Question of the day.
Oh, man. I want to hear stories about coupon codes or discounts gone wrong. I know working the past couple years in e-commerce, we've had some discount codes go out with too heavy or no expiration dates and that kind of thing. So I want to hear kind of our audience's take on what's the worst discount code mishap you've had.
Thank y'all for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow.